Warning, number one, it is a high precision product. Do not fall or crash. It's an action camera. Just not working. Gosh. Oh, it's so good. G'day everybody, what's cracking? It's Ralph here. If you're new, please subscribe, throw us a like, that'd be super handy. And today I want to tell you the story about what happened to me at Christmas. So my kids have been pining, dying for an action camera. Like this, the Osmo Action, but too expensive. So what did I decide to do? Well, I went on wish.com and I bought not only one, but two of these. That's right, a 1080p action camera that shoots 12 megapixel pills. It even comes in a funky waterproof case. That's not all it comes with. Look what else it comes with. It's high class packaging right here. Like tubular bubbles. Who doesn't like tubular bubbles? And in it, you get all these kind of like cool adapters. So right from the get-go, you're like, yes, kids are going to be able to go by snowboarding or water skiing or just do epic stuff with this camera. Yeah, if you drop it, be careful. It's an action camera. Okay, so we got this accessory, we got this accessory, we got these accessories. They're all GoPro accessories that do all sorts of funky little things for the camera. But the question I want to ask today, is it worth it? Is it worth buying one of these that was 42 Australian dollars shipped to my door? This is what the experience looked like of looking at it and buying it. 42 bucks or so to get to my door, 15 of which was shipping and the rest was the camera. I thought, even if it's bad, for like 27 bucks or whatever it turns out to be, it's got to be pretty good and worthwhile. My kids are pretty easy pleased when it comes to these cameras. So let me just walk you through some of the functions. HD on the front, so I opted for the HD and not the 4K to save me $20 and thinking that the kids aren't going to shoot in 4K and I don't want to edit in 4K. And if it says it's 1080p, it's 1080p. Now, how big are these? Well, this is my Osmo Action and this is how it compares. So it's within the range of what you'd expect. Now, weight-wise, this is literally 4 times heavier than this. I kid you not, but it's pink. I've got a little girl, she's 6 years old. The little boy, he's 4 years old. Blue, pink. Oh, they were in heaven Christmas morning. They unwrapped these little beauties. Oh, this is so good, Dad. I buy a SanDisk memory card, micro memory card fits in there, and I start to worry when I push it in and there's no click. There's no suck it in and hold it. It's just to ram it in until it's about there. And I fiddled around with it It's also got a USB-C, or is that a micro USB? It's a micro USB plug that charges it. The battery, which you should be able to take out, is here, and why on earth you'd ever want to take it out, I have no idea. The screen is 2 inches. The screen is smaller than your Osmo Action, but still big enough, right? So by all accounts, I'm looking at the lens. The lens they boast is a 170-degree lens. Now, there's a lot of conjecture out there about what 170 equates to when we talk about DSLR cameras and how many millimeter focal length. But I reckon it's about between 8 and 10 mil, which is super wide. So if you think 180 degrees is like this, 170 is like that, it means a camera has to shoot fisheye. It can't possibly do anything else. Okay, so you've got these parameters. I'm like, well, an action cam at 170, even if it's like 110, that'd be good. You know what it was? You know what it was when I pulled it out? It was 50. You actually got this tiny narrowed in shot that you kind of had to put up with for the entirety of the shoot. Now, it shoots video, and so we've got the video happening. You press this button just on top, turns it on here, just this button to record, and it records. It records at 1080p, and it looks good. The screen can wash out with any sort of glare, and it's really sketchy and choppy when you move it around, but that's okay. Then you go to stills. So I'm like, It's not touchscreen. It's not touchscreen. So you've got to kind of use these up and down buttons with a combination of this to migrate your way through a very simple setup. Now, obviously, there's no stabilization. There's no control of any of the elements. What you see is what you get, and what you see on this screen is not a high-def screen. It says it's a high-def screen. This is not a high-def screen. I don't think it's a standard def screen. What's half of standard def? If you know the answer to that, put it in the description below. So the batteries in here are 9,000 megahertz, which is not much at all. But you can charge them in, say, half an hour or so. And my best guess is it would last for maybe 20 minutes, constant shooting. Now, here's the other kicker. You press record on these. You've got to preset how long it records video for. Yeah. You heard me right. So you've got to choose between 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes, and you have to press that before you start recording. So you select your 3 minutes because you assume what you're going to take is going to be 3 minutes. It's for kids. Oh my gosh. So this camera might actually not be for kids, but the whole idea of having to pre-work out how long you're going to shoot video for is ridiculous and archaic in my humble opinion. So you learn that, then you hit thing and it flashes your red dot and you can't turn it off. You just turn your camera off if you want to start, and then you've got to start all over again. My kids loved, the thing they love about it was when you turn it on, it goes dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. When you turn it off, it goes doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. They're like, "Oh, Dad, how fun is this? On, off, on, off, on." I could have bought them like a tin can, some water in it. You've got a choice of color. You've got a choice of a number of languages to read the instructions in. So that's a bit of a win. It comes with a whole host of accessories, and it's a pretty good size. So, should you buy one? Is it worth it? Well, the moment you've all been waiting for. So we take these away on holidays, and the kids are shooting with them, and they're taking photos with them, and they're just having a blast. And let me show you now some of that footage, and you can make your own mind up. So here it is. Go. That was not a glitch, folks. It recorded nothing. No photos, no videos on either camera on a SanDisk memory card. And so I complained. I don't normally complain. I don't like complaining. I don't like when people complain. Just like, ugh. But I'm like, it just doesn't work. So I sent an email to the distributor through Wish, and it was literally, 4 or 5 lines just saying the camera doesn't take video or camera. And I kid you not, in less than 12 hours, I was fully refunded for both cameras, and not a word said about returning them or let's have a look at them or did you try this or did you try that. And then I looked for them today, and this particular camera is not available on wish.com anymore. However, there are a million others like it, and I just thought it would be a great endeavor to see if this was a great gift for the kids, and they were disappointed. They were disappointed. So what do? Well, I then jumped on Gumtree, which is like a local classifieds here in Australia, and I looked through and I found 2 GoPros, GoPro 3, GoPro 3 Plus, that have been used a couple of times. They shoot 1080p, 18 megapixel photos. It's a GoPro. And I asked the lady if she could knock a couple of bucks off because it was for my kids. And I got 2 GoPros for the same price that I got 2 pink boxes that do nothing but make a nice little melody when you warm them up. So folks, I hope my pain is to your gain. You can do what you like, but if you have some other interesting stories about purchasing these and how that experience has gone, maybe it's worked out well for you, and I'd love to hear about that. Maybe it hasn't, and I'd love to hear those stories too. So thankfully my kids are no longer devastated. They have a couple of GoPros for next to nothing that they run around the planet with, taking photos of everything. My daughter thinks she's a YouTuber. She's 6 years old and doesn't have a YouTube channel, but she makes these videos and asks people to subscribe to her channel. Would you subscribe to her channel? She's cute as anything. I'd subscribe to her channel. You want to subscribe to mine, just do it down below. Have a great week. to see if this would be a great gift